talk about the importance of business communication. So we have been seeing many reports coming out by different research agencies, by different companies. I was in fact going through a report by McKinsey in the recent past, and another report was by another company which are into job market. The report says that even the post-COVID scenario, the post-COVID the workforce, even they would need the business communication as they were requiring it before COVID scenario. They would need it more than that. In fact, the idea is, the forecast is that if 20 job postings are coming out of that 15 jobs are going to be targeting a skill which has business communication. The people with effective business communication are going to be in demand. Every particular post, so 15 out of 20 would be actually demanding effective business communication as one of the skills, other than emotional intelligence and all. So the soft skills, including business communication, were very important and are going to be important. They are going to remain important even the post-COVID world, right? And not only that, any professional work, any professional work, being if you are practicing as a chartered accountant, practicing as a lawyer, practicing as a teacher, like people like me, a banker, anybody, a doctor even. So they all need to have good communication skill. Mind you, I am not saying good English. There's a difference. हम हिंदी बोल सकते हैं, हम पंजाबी बोल सकते हैं, राइट? हम कोई भी लैंग्वेज बोल सकते हैं. मैं लैंग्वेज की बात नहीं कर रही हूँ. So please do understand this fact. I'm saying every professional, every worker, any business, their employees, whichever capacity they are working in, they need to have good communication. You may have any idea here, right? You may have any good idea, unless you are able to express it either on a piece of paper or verbally in a meeting, or so unless that idea gets transmitted to the relevant person, to the relevant officer or employee or colleague, it has no meaning. In fact, I'm careful what I'm saying, right? It has no meaning. So this is how much the business communication is important for us, for anyone, for anybody for that matter, right? So the global force, the workforce of today and the tomorrow is actually going to have this particular skill in demand. They need to have this particular skill inculcate in them, so that they could work effectively, they could prove effective in whatever they do. Okay, so the organization goal of any particular company, any particular business, they have their goals, right? We are discussing business communication, its importance. Okay, so every business has certain goals. The greater information access, right, and awareness actually can help achieve those goals effectively. How come? How come? Just let's think about it. Let's take some example. Every business is working for some reason, right? So the reason, the ultimate goal of a business is to earn money, to make profits, right? The commercial benefit is always there, whatever any business do, right? So whatever they do, they have objective, and objective is to have ultimate, commercial benefit. But for that commercial benefit, they need to deliver. They need to deliver a product or services. They need to take care of customers' complaints. They need to take care of demands. They need to take care of their employees. they need to take care of the government records, they need to take care of compliance part, everything. So organizational goals can be achieved better. The goal could be, the goals are the small objectives which are time bound, right? So if the goal is to increase the sales from 18% growth, the last year growth was 18%, to this year, let's say 28%. So I want to grow 28% more than whatever I achieved last year. Okay. So if this particular piece of information, which is a goal, which is a sales goal, right, for the business, is shared with everyone involved into the sales activity, so there's a likelihood that my goals would be achieved better than a company where this information could not be shared with all the stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? Of course, the sales head, the sales manager, the sales executive, the staff in the, the supporting staff in the sales team, everybody. If they know that goal, this is the goal, right? That goal, if it is communicated, having a goal is one thing. Visualizing a goal is one thing, right? Communicating that goal, transmitting that goal to the people who have to implement is the most important, the second thing. And the third thing is to actually implement it, right? So having a goal or the mission or the vision, then communicating that goal or that goal to the concerned stakeholders, and then implementing the three things primarily, broaderly. Okay, so where is the business communication fitting in between? A goal is here, right? Here are the people who have to work. In between, the link between the person who visualized it and the person who has to implement is the communication, right? I hope you are getting my point. So this goal actually can be achieved if it is communicated very effectively between the goal setter and the person who has to work to achieve it. Alright, and that's where the importance of business communication comes in. So this is the first, area where business communication helps us. Okay. The second point of importance of business communication is it improves coordination, right? So which means what? It reduces the gaps. How does it improve coordination? I'm taking example. I'm trying to stick to one example so that you could link till the end of the conversation. So let's say let's say production department in any organization has to produce, we know that, and sales team has to sell, marketing team has to publish or promote that product, and finance department has to arrange finances or funds for the production and for other activities, and so on. The customer care has to take care of the customer complaints, right? So just imagine that if the production department of a company XYZ, right, they are into chair production, let's say XYZ produced ABC number of chairs. Let's say the company produced 1 lakh chair in the month of June, right, without consulting the sales team or without consulting even the finance guy or the purchase guy. Okay, so what is going to happen? If production people have not consulted, not coordinated with the sales team, they just produced on their own. They were actually enjoying the credit facility from the supplier. They could buy the raw material on credit, so finances were actually not needed as such upfront, right? And they produced it. But sales team has a clarity that there's no demand for the next 2-3 months due to XYZ reason. In the month of March, when the second wave of corona was there was a high demand for furniture. Everybody has stocked up, piled up the furniture, and now there's no demand for the next couple of months, right? So no generic demand is there. So why this has happened? Because there was a lack of coordination between the sales team, rather before sales team, the research, marketing research team, production team, finally the finance guy has to pay for it. Okay, so it reduces. Had that been there, had all the heads of different different departments, sales, production, purchase, accounts, everybody sat together and discussed, then the things would have been different. Then company would not have had a stock of 1 lakh chairs piled up in the godown, in the warehouse, right? I hope you could get the point. Well, the third point is that it encourages cooperation. The moment they people sat together, or they just have a conference call. I'm not saying the sitting physically together. We all are working from home now. There are people working from home, people sitting in different countries and working together. But the moment there was a coordination, it encourages cooperation, and that can happen if the communication was there, right? Believe me or not, I am talking about business communication. Had there been great communication amongst the team members, it encourages cooperation amongst them, because they know that he or she shared with me this information on time, accordingly I acted, and accordingly the results are achieved, right? So next time they would be very, very happy to quickly share the information on time with all the concerned, so that the results could be achieved, right? So this leads to cooperation amongst the team, and cooperation means cordial environment. Okay. So next point is that business communication, it gives directions to tasks and activities. Unless any task can be planned, unless it is communicated to the concerned people, it has no meaning, right? So we need to plan activities, and we need to share that plan with all the concerned. And sharing means communicating, right? So we need to communicate either orally, written, gestures, whichever. I am not talking about what is the type of the communication is being used here. Whichever way we communicate, but need is to communicate. So it gives actually directions to all the tasks or the activities which are planned in any business. And if directions are there from senior to junior, they feel motivated. So that boosts up the morale of the team, right? So if there's a cordial environment, results are achieved, activities are implemented as per plans, certainly it boosts the morale of the team, of the employees of an organization. And if the morale is high, it is actually empowering the people. If the information is shared, it is empowering. If I share that do this, at this point of time, this is the process of the activity, these are the steps for a particular task, and so on, I am actually empowering my team. If I am the head and I am sharing exactly what is expected to be done on time, this is giving them power, right? This is giving them actually power just by one mail, just by one telephone call, just by one meeting, one PowerPoint presentation, one address. We are empowering. So sharing information, that business communication, the communication within the business and the outside is empowerment. It's not only within the businessman. If I am a company into manufacturing of cars, right? If I am bringing, and as a company I am bringing up a new model, hybrid model, let's say, and if I call upon a meeting of all my dealers, car dealers, and share them in advance that this hybrid model has these features which are not there anywhere in the world, I am empowering them with such a high pitch information, highly important factor which can help them to sell effectively and more and very easily, right? So I'm giving them power. So sharing information on time, appreciating people on time, appreciating people for whatever they do, or giving the feedback for anything which could not be achieved, for underperformance even, that's empowerment, right? Even giving the feedback is a way of empowering somebody, and that can happen only with the help of communication. If there's a communication, only then this empowerment can take place. Empowerment of employees, empowerment of suppliers or your dealers, etc., etc. Then it works as an aid in decision making. Let's say I have to decide to launch a new model of any product my research team was working at. So if I have a piece of information about my competitors, if I have any important or relevant information about any government policy, and I share it with the team who are planning the launch, will it not actually help them decide the date of the announcement? It will. So it will work as a very important aid in decision making if information related to the competitors' plan, if information about government policy, if information about any political event, any social event, any such event which can impact the launch of that product. If it is shared on time, it is really going to help them decide the date effectively, and they would have better goal congruence, right? Then the next point of importance is that it speeds up the organizational processes. Every organization has process, for various activities, be it ordering a raw material, be it responding to customers' request, customers' complaint, be it filing up a return, be it sending the catalogs, anything. So there are organizational processes. So the organizational process would actually be speeding up if we have effective communication in the business. That really helps us in speeding up the process. Okay. The next point of importance is this helps us in focusing on customers' requirements. If the communication is effective, we can actually focus on the requirements of our customers, because we are seeking information from customers. That information is reaching out to the concerned department on time, and that particular complaint or advice or feedback or suggestions, whatever it could be, actually reaches out to the concerned department on time, and then that particular concern is addressed, or that particular suggestion is appreciated by the concerned department, or that particular suggestion is implemented, whichever the case may be, right? These are just examples. But point is, it will help us in focusing on the customer's requirement. If we are really good in communication with all the concerned, with all the stakeholders, our customers are going to be happy at the end of the day, which will help me directly in my commercial benefits, in my profit maximization. Then it generates a greater sense of organizational commitment and involvement. For many times I have seen it different organizations, because I am a consultant as well. I do consult businesses. I do train people in the industry on different aspects of accounting, finance and communication. So I have seen, if the people are people know about things, what is happening in the organization, within the department, in other department, in other office, in different location, they feel good about it, that yes, I know. A sense of belongingness develops once we know what is happening in my own company, right? So a greater sense of commitment comes in. You feel happy about the achievements, you feel happy about the steps taken by or the activities taken by your organization, because they have been shared with you, because you are aware, right? So organizational commitment, involvement is there because communication was there, because you were involved, you were informed about that. So you feel a greater sense of commitment and involvement, right? The another point of importance of business communication is that it's a problem solving tool. It becomes clarity, preciseness, feedback. All these things actually help us solve a problem. Every business faces problem on daily basis. Yes, I'm saying on daily basis, right? So how to solve those problems? Problem is that the raw material doesn't reach on time. My plant is running out of, my plant is running and I have no raw material. I have raw material, people waiting for production, but there's no electricity, there's a failure. I have everything, but there's manager is missing today because of anything. Engineer is not there to give, exact direction to the production team, to the fabricator and all. Thousands of types of problems every day a business faces. Any resource, be it labor, be it money, be it raw material supplies, etc., could be there, right? So, and as an employee or as an owner, as an entrepreneur, ultimately you have to solve those problems. You have to take some action for those problems. And if there's an effective communication within the organization, there will be clarity about exactly what is the problem, what is the root cause of that problem, and how precise information is shared or how good the feedback is given about the problem. The problem solving will become more effective, right? So these are the points of importance of business communication. Friends, I think with this discussion I could bring out the importance of business communication, and now I would request you to have a look at the slide. So this is a very interesting slide. This slide is actually showing you that what does a customer want. If you go step by step, there are 10 different pictures in this slide. The first picture is, what is actually been explained, what is customer expecting. Then, it keeps on going. How does the production guy gets it? How does the engineer perceives it? How does, the marketing team perceives it? How does, how is it being taken by the customer care, the help desk, the billing people? So if you look at all those pictures in this one slide, it is very clear that what was actually desired or ordered by the customer is entirely different from what has actually been delivered. And why has it happened? Can you think about it? Do you have the answer? Yes. If you just think, if you really put it in the light of the discussion we had so far, only one answer: poor communication. Yes, it is just because of the poor communication that the end product which is actually delivered to the customer is different than what was desired by the customer. Everybody projected it differently as per their understanding, and of course the gap in communication, right? This is how communication can affect actually the outcome of any process, any business process. And if the customer is not getting what he or she was supposed to get, what does it mean? Unsatisfied customer means you are losing the customer for future, means your profits are going to go down, right? So this is how exactly the business communication can actually affect the outcome of any activity, right? So entirely every single picture in this slide is showing you that your project manager perceived it differently, your sales guy showed it differently, your customers actually the customer care department showed it differently, marketing people are projecting it entirely differently. So this is the extent of business communication actually which can help you to achieve or to lose what you have targeted for, right? So communication can help you both ways. It can help you to achieve your goals effectively. It can actually influence you very negatively as well. So with these points, I just wanted to bring out the importance of communication, and this last picture was just an illustration that how important the business communication is.